Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Studying with me Seema Saini. I'm Seema Saini. I hope you all are good. Today we will discuss textual and important questions of the chapter.
Chapter 8 Silk Road, Class 11th Hornbill book.
If you have missed detailed summary of this chapter, then you can go back and check it out. So stay with me till then. Let's start.
First of all, textual questions. Question 1. Explain why the article has been titled Silk Road. Answer. In ancient times, the Silk Road used to be a trade route that linked China with the West. While traveling from Lhasa to Darchin, the author had followed almost the same route. That is why he has titled his article as Silk Road. Question 2. Why were Tibetan Mastiff popular in China's imperial courts? This is important question. Answer. Tibetan Mastiffs are ferocious dogs. They know no fear at all. They attack with the speed of a bullet from a gun. That was why they became popular in China's imperial courts. Their masters kept them to guard their palaces. Question 3. How was the author's experience at Hor in stark contrast to earlier accounts of the place? Answer. Hor is situated on the shore of Lake Mansarovar. This lake is considered Tibet's most sacred place. It is said that a Japanese monk was so moved by its sanctity that he burst into tears. But what the author found here was in sharp contrast. There was no vegetation at all. There were big heaps of rubbish everywhere. There was only one cafe, and that too was in poor shape. It was badly painted, and all the 3 windows were broken. The table on which he was served tea was all greasy. Thus, the author's experience at Hor was very disappointing. Question 4. Why was the author disappointed with Darchin? This is important question. Answer. The author had heard that Darchin bustled with visitors during the season of the Kailash Kora. Many of them came with their own tents. The author had come at the beginning of the season, but he could find no pilgrims there. It was this thing that disappointed him most. He knew nothing of the pilgrimage trail. There could be snow on the way, so he could do nothing but wait. Question 5. Why did the author think that his positive thinking strategy worked well after all? Answer. Positive thinking means determined mental attitude. The author had gone to Darchin for Kailash Kora, but he found no other pilgrim there. He was disappointed, but he decided to wait. At last, he found a very good companion in Norbu. Thus, his positive thinking strategy worked well after all. Question 6. What was the purpose of the author's journey of Mount Kailash? This is most important question. Answer. The purpose of the author's journey was to do the Kailash Kora. It was a pilgrimage that he was doing for the first time, but his chief interest was academic rather than religious. Question 7. What was the author's physical condition in Darchin? Answer. When the author reached Darchin, he was feeling tired and hungry. He had caught cold and could breathe only through his mouth. When he lay down to sleep, he found it impossible to breathe. Sitting up made him feel better. He could breathe freely, but as soon as he would lie down, breathing became impossible. He had to stay awake all night. A Tibetan doctor gave him some medicine in the morning. The next night he slept very soundly. Now, question number 8. Write a note on the author's meeting with Norbu. This is important question. Answer. One afternoon, the author was sitting in Darchen's only cafe. He was thinking how he could do the Kailash Kora. There were no other pilgrims, and there was no one who could speak English and tell him about the pilgrimage trail. Just then, a man came in, ordered tea, and sat down at the table opposite the author. He saw the author with an English novel and understood that he was an Englishman. A conversation started between the two. He said he was Norbu and was a Tibetan, but he worked in the Institute of Ethnic Literature at Beijing. For many years, he had been writing academic papers about the Kailash Kora and its importance in Buddhist literature. He had never done it himself, but this time he was going to do it. The author was delighted to find a good companion in Norbu. Both of them had come for the Kora more as academics than as pilgrims. Now, question number 9. Write a note on Jetan's sport to the author during the journey. Answer. It was Jetan who had driven the author all the way from Lhasa to Darjin. He had tried to make the journey as safe and comfortable as possible. At Darjin, he saw that the author was not well. He had not been able to sleep all night. Jetan took him to a Tibetan doctor and got him some medicine. The next night, the author had a very sound sleep. Jetan could see that the author was now perfectly well. Only then did he leave him and go back to Lhasa. Question 10. As a Buddhist, he told me, he knew that it didn't really matter if I passed away. But he thought it would be bad for business. Comment. Answer. It is a humorous remark made by Jetan the taxi driver. The author feels terribly sick on reaching Darjin. Jetan takes him to a Tibetan doctor and gets him some medicine. The author takes the medicine and becomes perfectly well again. Now, Jetan makes a humorous remark. He says, as a Buddhist, he believed it would not really matter if the author died at the Kailash, but it would be bad for his business because he would lose one of his customers. Jetan had said this in humor only. Now, extra and important questions. Question 1. Who was Lamu? What gift did she give to the author? Answer. Lamu was a Tibetan woman. The author, his guide Daniel, and the taxi driver Jetan stayed at her place in the Tibetan village of Rabu. She gave the author a long-sleeved sheepskin coat as a parting gift. Now, next question, question 2. What happened to the author at Darjin? Answer. The author caught cold. He found it difficult to breathe. He couldn't sleep a moment the whole night. He stayed awake all night. Now, next question. Question number 3. Give in your own words a brief account of the author's journey to Mount Kailash and its purpose as stated in the Silk Road. This is important question. Answer. The author travelled from Rabu to Darjin, which is at the foot of Mount Kailash. The purpose of his journey was to do the Kailash Kora, which is considered to be a religious journey. But the author's chief interest was academic rather than religious. He left Rabu in the morning. His guide Daniel and his taxi driver Jetan were also with him. Jetan took a shorter route, but it involved crossing several high mountain passes. On their way, they saw small groups of antelopes and herds of wild asses. They also saw nomads tending their flocks. At 2 o'clock, they reached the top of a pass that was at a height of 5,515 meters. Here, they had their lunch. By late afternoon, they reached the small town of Hor. They resumed their journey the next morning and reached Darjin. Now, the author was feeling tired and hungry. He had caught cold and could breathe only through the mouth. When he lay down to sleep, he found it impossible to breathe. The next morning, Jetan took him to the local medical college. The Tibetan doctor there gave the author some medicine and he slept very soundly the next night. When Jetan saw that the author had no serious problem, he left the author there and returned to Lhasa.
That's all for today. For more videos, please like, share, comment and subscribe the channel. Keep watching. See you tomorrow with another video. Till then, bye. Take care.